Today, we're cracking open the playbook for the modern entrepreneur. And I want you to forget all those old myths, the tech genius in a garage. We're going to dive into a practical guide, one that's actually based on a full-blown MBA course to understand what it really takes to build something new in the world we live in right now.
So let me ask you a question. When you hear the word entrepreneur, what's the first image that pops into your head? Is it that tech founder? A risk-obsessed billionaire, maybe? Look, that classic stereotype is powerful, but let's be honest, it's pretty outdated. Today, we're going to smash that image and show you just how much that definition is expanding.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to journey through 5 key chapters. First, we'll nail down a core definition. Then we'll explore entrepreneurs who are driven by a social mission. We'll look at the women who are breaking new ground, see how innovation is happening far from the usual hubs, and finally, we'll give you a blueprint for turning your very own idea into action.
Okay, let's get right into it. If we're going to build a playbook, we need a really solid foundation. So, what exactly is an entrepreneur anyway? Let's get beyond the buzzword. All right, so here's the textbook definition. The key words you really want to lock onto here are creates, risks, and innovator. See, this isn't just about starting any business. It's about pioneering something brand new, a new product, a fresh service, a whole new way of doing things, and being willing to shoulder all the uncertainty that comes right along with it. And this comparison, right here, this really gets to the heart of it. A manager, their job is to optimize a system that already exists. Their whole goal is to minimize risk. But an entrepreneur? They're the ones building that system from scratch. Their main driver isn't power. It's the sheer achievement of bringing a vision to life. And that, my friends, requires embracing risk.
And that brings us to the first brand new chapter in our modern playbook. What happens when the main motivation isn't just achievement or profit, but purpose?
Man, this quote from David Bornstein just nails it. It perfectly captures what a social entrepreneur is all about. They are pathbreakers, completely driven by a vision for real change. They spot a problem in a community and then build an entire business model to solve it and create a lasting social impact. This simple breakdown shows that fundamental shift in thinking. A traditional business entrepreneur asks, how can I build sustainable profits? But a social entrepreneur asks, how can I create sustainable social impact? And when you do that, the entire model flips. It goes from competition to collaboration, from serving individual customers to serving entire communities. And look, this isn't just some nice theory. Grameen Bank is such a powerful example. It operates as a for-profit bank, but its mission is totally social, giving tiny loans to people who have no access to traditional banking. This single idea empowers people, especially women, to become entrepreneurs themselves. It's living proof that profit and purpose can absolutely go hand in hand. That whole idea of empowerment leads us perfectly into our next chapter. Now we're going to look at a group of entrepreneurs who are reshaping entire economies, all while facing incredible odds. Just take a second and look at this number. $1.5 trillion. That is the estimated global gap in financing for businesses that are led by women. It's just a staggering barrier, and it highlights this massive, completely untapped economic potential. And that funding gap, as huge as it is really just the beginning. Women entrepreneurs face this unique set of hurdles, everything from a lack of institutional support to the immense pressure of balancing family life with the insane demands of a new business. These aren't just business challenges, they're societal challenges. So the big question is, how do we start to level the playing field? Well, there's no single magic bullet. It has to be a multi-pronged attack. Creating financial products that are tailored for them, building strong mentorship networks, offering targeted skill development, and, this is critical, advocating for inclusive policies that support women as both caregivers and business leaders. So far, we focused on the what and the who. Now, let's explore the where. Because let me tell you, the next big wave of innovation isn't just coming from Silicon Valley. It's coming from the ground up. This figure right here, this is the percentage of Nepal's population that lives in rural areas. It's just a powerful reminder that the majority of the world's population, and therefore its untapped entrepreneurial potential, is outside of our major cities. And you can see the economic power that's already there. Just look at Nepal's key exports: garments, carpets, pashmina. These are industries that are deeply rooted in local skills, local resources, and local culture. See, rural entrepreneurship isn't about starting from zero. It's about building on the strengths that are already in place. And this idea of building on existing strengths is especially powerful when you look at agriculture. The opportunity here is just massive. We're talking about agripreneurship that goes way beyond traditional farming. We're talking about innovating with things like vertical hydroponics, meeting that huge global demand for organic food, and turning raw produce into valuable goods. Okay, we have explored this whole new landscape of entrepreneurship. For our final section, we're going to get super practical. This is about taking that little spark of an idea you might have and turning it into a concrete plan. This is the very first page of your playbook. You know, finding a business idea can feel so daunting, but you can actually systematize it. I want you to think of it like an opportunity funnel. At the very top, you generate as many ideas as you possibly can. Then, in the middle, you scan and screen them against some key questions. Is there a market for this? Do I have the skills? And then, at the very bottom, you select the single most promising idea to really move forward with. Once you have that amazing idea, you need a map. That's all a business plan is, seriously. It's not just some stuffy document for investors. It's a living, breathing roadmap that lays out your goals, your strategies, and your timeline. It forces you to think through every single piece of a venture. And that roadmap has some key stages. Just think of it in 5 parts. First, the basics. Who are you and what are you making? Second, the project itself, the tech, the process. Third, market potential. Is anyone actually going to buy this? Fourth, the capital costs. What's it going to take to get started? And finally, the financials, your profit and loss, your break-even point. Every single step is crucial for a plan that'll actually work. Now, knowing the steps is one thing, but you also have to know the potholes to avoid. And these are the classic mistakes that trip up so many new ventures. Being way too optimistic, completely skipping market research, or choosing the wrong location, any one of those can sink a great idea before it even gets a chance to float. So that's it. That's the modern entrepreneurial playbook. We've redefined the role, we've explored new missions, and we've laid out a practical blueprint. We've seen that an entrepreneur can be absolutely anyone, anywhere, driven by profit or by purpose. The only question left is, what are you going to build?